Every day we interact with an invisible world that is around us constantly, and we never pay attention to it. So this channel's not even a dozen videos old yet, but today we're going to sit down and I'm going to get real with you. Literally sitting down, having a drink, and just got some stuff in my mind, and it's time to talk about it. First off, this was a gift. This was an incredibly unexpected, thoughtful gift that I really appreciate from some really great people. And you know, there's a dozen things on my mind, and this is one of them that got me thinking. Every now and again, those thoughts, I just gotta pour them out, and here we are. So every day, all around us, there's a whole invisible world. We interact with it, we manipulate it, we influence it positively, we influence it negatively, but we never see it. We don't always pay attention to it. But the truth is, it's there. And, you know, the world that I'm talking about is the subtext. All around us, everybody has a story. Everybody has something going on. It's amazing to me how many people are having a really hard time. Now, you might try to justify your hard time by looking at their hard time and going, that's all, that's your problem. My problem is X, Y, and Z. The truth is, your problems are relative. How they affect you are relative to you, not how they are perceived based on comparison. To use a graphic example, you know, stub the hell out of my toe, and I can talk to someone who's gotten their leg blown off. You know what? They're different. They're different things. If the worst thing that I have going is that stub toe, it might be pretty awful. Now, if I got one leg blown off and then managed to stub the toe on the other foot, maybe the stub toe is not a big deal. You know, so it's relative. It just depends. You don't get to choose how these things affect people. You don't get to choose what they're going through. And honestly, most people are dealing with way worse than a stub toe. And mentally, the mindscape of depression and anxiety, and, you know, and it's not just those. Really, truly, it's not. We live stressful lives. We have things happening constantly that challenge us, that affect our well-being mentally. Sometimes we are just scraping to keep it together, doing everything we can. And so sometimes the smallest things are the biggest hurdles because of all the other things that you don't know about. And every day we get to choose how we interact with people. Every day we get to choose the way we react to things. And we can be really short-sighted. We can be really fed up. We can be so frustrated and so tired. And I'm not going to get on a soapbox and talk about whatever, you know, we're human. Sometimes we pop off. Sometimes we snap and lash out because we're frustrated and we're angry, and it's the last thing that day. I can't let anything else it just is too much. That's okay. Not going to tell you it's not. We don't always get to choose that either. We've all got our threshold, our limits, what we're able to take. And you know what? What we're able to take is incredible. The amount that we're able to go through and keep going is incredible. To quote a really rad guy, we are all thoroughbred survivors. You know, we wouldn't be here if the people before us had not survived, the people before them had not survived anything, everything. We don't even always take the time to know what kind of things our families have gone through, what our parents have gone through, and our grandparents have gone through, and all of that. And the truth is, it matters greatly, and it matters not at all at the same time. Because it is important. It is important that we go through these things. It is important that we get to the other side. It's important that we care. It's not necessarily our job, though. And that's okay, too. We can choose to be involved. We can choose to help where we can. And that's what I mean when I say that we can go and affect these things positive and negative. Every day when you interact with somebody, you have no idea what the rest of their day looked like. You have no idea what their day coming up looks like. And everything that you do has a ramification. It creates change. Period. End of story. I don't care who you are. It creates change. And when we strive for those positive changes, small things, taking a moment to thank somebody, taking a moment to just to smile, just to say hello, taking a moment to appreciate someone. All those things go a long way. You know, you never know when that little thing that you thought was nothing, you might not even realize you did it. may have completely turned somebody's day around, may have completely brought them back from the brink of something. There are really bad things you can be on the brink of. You can just be on the brink of frustration too, and just need a breath. And sometimes that's what it is. You just don't know, and you don't always get to know. You don't always know where these things land after you interact with somebody. But it changes. They might not even realize that that interaction with you has created the situation, has changed their deal, right? They might not even know why they're upset. They might not even know why they're a little bit happier. They might not know why they've got a little bit more give right now. But man, if just interacting with somebody can create that, whether I know about it or not, why wouldn't I want that? Why wouldn't I want to be a part of making something better, of continuing forward and improving things? And you know what? That usually continues on. It usually moves forward. You improve something, and then that person's just this much happier, this much better that day. And then maybe they end up giving a little bit to the next person and the next person. And it's not this whole pay it forward thing, like somebody did something nice to you, go do something nice for somebody else. That's great. I have nothing wrong with that. Do it. It's awesome. And it's a pretty powerful tool too, recognizing that something great was done for you and then passing that on to somebody else, doing something great for somebody else. I think it's a very noble, very cool thing. But what if somebody didn't do something great for you? What if your day was just garbage? Should you still not pass on something awesome? I think you should. I think you should pass that on. I think you should create a better place. Make someone smile. Take a moment and appreciate. So there's a meme that passed around, I don't know how long ago. Some typical martial arts picture, old wise sensei sitting in the front of his school or whatever. And it said, the disciple says to the master, "Master, I'm discouraged." And the master says to the disciple, "Encourage others." And you can take all the meme parts and whatever out of it. That was a powerful statement for me. It stuck with me. This idea of self-healing through healing others is powerful. It's an incredible thing. And it's pretty amazing in practice. It's pretty amazing when you pass those things on. You say positive things to people. You create affirmation. You give confidence. You build people up. It's an amazing and incredible tool in improving your confidence, and improving your feeling, and improving your mood, your demeanor. So I don't know the history, the origin of that thing, if it was just something somebody came up with and thought was cool, or if it was whatever. But it stuck with me and it made an impact. And so I want to share that with you, and maybe it means an impact to you too. When you're down, when you're having a hard time, you can sit and dwell on the things that are rough for you. You can sit and dwell on all of that. It's bringing you down. Or you could look around and realize that you're not the only one and just try to help somebody. And I don't mean you got to go and back there, GoFundMe or do your whatever. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Just call somebody, just engage with somebody. Just take a moment to appreciate somebody. And when you do, as you go through your day, as you go through life, take a moment to recognize when people appreciate you. It's powerful. It's meaningful. And the truth is, we're on this planet together. Our ability to go forward is based entirely on our willingness to be together. And the more we try to isolate ourselves, the more we try to separate ourselves, the more we take away the things that build us up, the things that make us thrive. And what's incredible to me, the more I talk to people, the more I come to understand what's going on in different people's lives, it's just how good I've got it. When I'm having a rough day, when I'm having a hard time, when things are down, and it just, I get my poopy pants on too. I get upset, and I get down on myself, and I struggle. There are people going through things that I don't even know how you could possibly. Just I don't even know. But they're doing it. And the truth is, you will too. If you end up in that spot, you're going to just manage. And that's incredible. People have gone through some shit. And it's amazing to me what we're able to survive. It's amazing to me what we're able to thrive in. And I don't know how they do it. And I don't know how I would do it. But you know what? I appreciate that they're doing it. I appreciate that it's happening. Holy crap. You know what? So throughout the day, take a moment to observe, to just pay attention to like what's actually happening, how the things that are happening are affecting the people around you. And I don't mean like you get done interacting with someone, like do like an after action report, sit down, break it down. How did that go? Was this good? Whatever. I mean, like in the moment, like just stop and pay attention. Like look at people. It's in their eyes. It's in their posture. Sometimes people are just going through some stuff. And sometimes you just got to give them a break. Maybe the stupid shit you're going on about is worthless. It doesn't matter. It's why I make them carry that on top of the other stuff that they're carrying. Just recognize that they're going through stuff, or recognize that interaction with those people is improving you. Maybe you were having a bad time and you're just that conversation, you're starting to tick up. You're rising. Being aware of that and embracing that is pretty powerful. Recognizing that it's happening and shrugging some of that off is pretty powerful. So just take a moment, take a breath, and realize that other people are important. People are important, and just care. Just care for each other. Care about each other. Doesn't matter what you can do. Sometimes just giving a crap is enough. And if you can do more, cool. Do it. Don't look back later and go, I wish I would have done something. I wish I would have done more things. Just do it. It costs nothing. It costs nothing to just pass on and brighten someone's day. And when you're faced with something hard, you got to make a choice. You're going to make that worse, or you're going to make it better. And that's what's going to happen. Your approach, your way of handling things determines the outcome. And guess what? Been on both sides. We're all on both sides all the time. You never know what kind of impact something's going to have. People can say something and not, they kind of snap just a little bit. It's incredible. We've all been there. Somebody says something, it wasn't even maybe that big of a thing, but man, we are carrying it. Night, ruin. Day, ruin. Week, maybe. That last one's a choice. But the first two, maybe not a choice. You might be ruined just because you're struggling to overcome it. You're recognizing that it's not worth ruining your day for, but you also still got to get past it. And that's not always easy. And sometimes you don't even know why you can't get past it. And reflection is important, and time and all that. But you got to choose, how are you going to let that affect the next thing? Even if you're still struggling with it, are you going to carry that into something else? Are you going to set that aside so that when you approach the next thing, the next person, the next thing you're doing, treat it the way you wish that last situation would have gone? Keep it moving. You can't carry it through. I mean, you can. You can. But if you do, now you're just miserable with other people. So you had every chance for those people to help cheer you up, but instead you brought them down. And it's a choice, and it's a hard one to be positive when everything looks bad. Sometimes it's all you got. And I don't mean for this to be all doom and gloom. That's not what this is about. I don't want you to take this that I'm just out there bashing the people that struggle to do it. I struggle to do it. I struggle to process things sometimes. I struggle to, It's amazing how something simple, how something you don't even expect can turn you upside down. It happens. It's not the end of the world, but it's pretty damn incredible how easy it is to just crash. But every time you face a hard time, you got to choose. If you are working, you're interacting with people, whatever it is, whatever situation it is, just play it out. Do I think this will help? I love that whole thing, and I'm going to get it wrong, but it's like, is it necessary? Is it kind? And there's one other one. But those two are pretty good. Like, is it necessary? Is it kind? Sometimes you just don't even need to say anything. Sometimes just whatever. Sometimes saying something's not even going to help. Right? I had a situation today. Fighting for my side of it wasn't going to help anybody. Truth be told, had a couple of those situations. Had multiple of those situations. We probably deal with those situations all the time. Fighting for my side isn't going to change anything. It might make me feel like I defended myself, like I stood up for myself. It might make me feel good about that. But what feels better? Knowing that, you know what? I defended myself. I handled my business. Or knowing that I was the bigger person, I set that stuff aside and just listened for a minute. And we got to the other side of it. I mean, honestly, every time I do that, every time I go, is this necessary? And can I just listen to you? Just maybe this isn't worth saying. I'll just listen to what you got to say. I start hearing some things you're saying. I start seeing some things in that person. I start understanding more. And I start appreciating more where they're coming from. And when you got that, when you start appreciating where someone's coming from, whether you mean to or not, it goes better. How you choose to react after that becomes easier, and you handle it, and it improves, and even a little uptick in improvement in that situation, that difficult time, starts to gain momentum. And as that momentum builds, the other side of it can be something great. Some of the best friendships that I have, and certainly even just some good acquaintances, have come from people who straight up didn't like me to begin with. Don't know why. Did something that made them upset. And getting to the other side, giving a crap enough to care about it, makes them good friends. The strongest relationships in my life came from meeting those head on and just listening and recognizing and just refusing to quit. Refusing to stop and give up and be like, you know what? I don't care enough about this. And I think that's where we go wrong in a lot of relationships and a lot of friendships, marriages, all that stuff. We hit a point where we're like, you know what? I care about me, and I'm over this. Like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm tired of it, whatever. And don't get me wrong, there's times when it takes two people. And if the other person is just not putting any effort at all, or actively pushing back the other way so hard, that it might not be going anywhere. It might not. But there's a lot of times that it is. And when you get to that other side, the relationship is so much stronger. If you give up when it gets difficult, it never gets easier. If you throw a fit or you fight or you get upset, you won't get to the other side in a positive way. But when you are heard and you listen so that that person is heard and you work and you try, it's pretty incredible where that can go. Don't know, I always get all these ideas when I'm driving. Not ideas what I'm saying, but just feelings. I get feelings. And I don't always know what the words are going to look like. And so this is probably rambling at this point. I don't even know if I'm going to edit. I might just kick it out and it just is what it is. But at the end of the day, just love each other. You don't have to love them in all the ways that Hollywood or movies or whatever thinks that you need to love people. Just care. Just care. And recognize that what you see isn't the whole story. The story you're a part of has impact. But the story doesn't stop when you're done being a part of it either. And just take some time to think about that. I know I'm going to be. That's it today. Catch you in the next one.